Scenario.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Here's a Scenario, our free weekly episode available from the Laugh Button. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Cannon. With me, as always,
is Mike Feeney, and also
Brendan Sagalow. Thank you for joining us time and time again.
Time and time again. Wow, we really just got a insight into how Brendan feels about this podcast.
Year 7 of the podcast.
Droning on. It's like episode 13, and he's like, mopping his brow.
Yeah, I was like,
still here.
Veteran. I meant time and time again in a good way, like in a good, like time and time again. Like, you know that song that goes, after the turns to gray.
I don't think you know the song.
I don't know the song's words.
I don't know even the melody you sang because
you know it. Feeney knows it. There you go.
Are you thinking of time? Are you thinking of
time after time
after time?
That's what I got after it, but I don't think Brendan meant
That's what I meant. Thank you for joining us time after time.
Well, for those of you who are new to the show, which is probably a high percentage of you since it is a brand new podcast, we are a hypothetical based show. We do what if scenarios, would you rathers, all the fun stuff you shoot around with your friends after a long evening of drinking. You guys submit the questions to our DM or go to here'sascenario.com, and we build a little comedy obstacle course based on your suggestions. So yeah, all of our social media is at here'sascenario.com. Write a review on iTunes. Also, here'sascenario.com. Links to everything, including our Patreon, which is bonus content. We do 2 bonus episodes per week. Not at all structured, or not at all, but somewhat structured like this show, but far more looser. Bit of storytelling, bit of other stuff goes into that as well. And I put up additional content, some sketches, some vlogs. I just did a vlog around the city called Spots. It was a Friday night. Had a camera guy follow me around to 3 different shows. That was super fun. Brendan and I just had a guy follow us to fucking Rhode Island, and that'll be out in the next week or so. I did a heads up poker match with Bobby Kelly. Sags and Feeney put up their sketches. There's so much goddamn content, you're going to want to suffocate yourself. And patreon.com/scenario pod. Sign up.
Hell
you can also send us scenarios for us to answer via our Instagram. Here's the scenario, which we have a bunch of. So
we do.
Let's get it. I have one here queued up if you guys are ready.
Let's do it.
Queued up, questioned up.
This is from Tay. She says,
Hey, Tay.
I'm kind of drunk, so here's the scenario is totally a personal situation I was once in. So here's the scenario. You have a dramatic breakup. Do you fuck your ex's best friend after matching on Tinder with them? I did fuck the friend only after being assured they weren't friends anymore. Joke's on me. They were friends. Also, thanks for being a shitty light in my shitty life. I love you 3. I don't know. A shitty light.
I actually sent that question.
Yeah, that was a classic drunk, half a compliment. Mostly I feel bad about myself for knowing who you guys are.
Not just drunk. I've also had 2 edibles. So thanks for what you do. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
They are a perfect audience member for us.
So do you fuck your ex's best friend after matching with them on Tinder?
Can I give you one better? So I had a real ugly breakup. I've talked about it a lot, like the only other serious girlfriend that I've had besides Nicole. And we had just a toxic back and forth of every time we were on a break. It was like a rush to hook up with somebody we each knew. And and one night I didn't match with anybody on Tinder, but I did have a late night AIM messaging with one of her best friends who lived down the street from me. And we pulled off into a secluded street and I banged her on the hood of my Chevy Malibu.
Nice, dude. Yeah. That's some fucking old school shit.
You got to say
right. That's the most 2003 story I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Just like,
I think it was 04, to be honest.
we turned up the radio, played some Maroon 5, and let everything.
Yeah. Len's Sunshine was My Sunshine was blasting in the background, and we just knew right then and there that gas would be $1.99 forever.
Well, and that's the funny part, though, is like I had reason and not real reason, but at least we had like the relationship where we were getting back at each other. Like there was sour notes between me and my ex-girlfriend. This friend had no reason to be spiteful or to allow me inside of her, but she was like gung-ho, super on board. And even after the first time was like, we should do this again. And I'm like, probably not. And then we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see. I don't think that like if you fuck your ex's best friend, but I was gonna. That's also different, slightly different than because I was thinking of your best friend's ex.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
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 cool
never.
with. That's
I've had
totally
that
different.
That's not
opportunity,
cool.
and I've said no.
Yeah.
I haven't done that to my best friend, but I've done that to a friend, and I feel bad about it to this day, dude.
Yeah.
It's a
As you
shitty thing
should.
to do. Yeah, as I should.
But an ex's best friend, yeah. If you're trying to go for scorched earth, I think that's
right.
That's
like
the move.
I have a kid from my town who's like, we used to be friends when we grew up, and he's since like really evolved into a high level sack of shit, just a pill popping loser. And so to get back at him for his life choices, I slept with 2 of his sisters.
Oh my God. 2 of his sisters.
Yeah.
That's
And
like,
then
you should-
after he slept with them, that's when he realized that he had a pill problem. So
That's
he's
right.
like, and he was like, "Oh, right." So it's a get back at you thing.
that's so funny. Yeah, you should get like a Boy Scout patch for that. 2
I
sisters.
really think you should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've hooked up with 2 sets of sisters.
Wow.
Pretty sweet, right?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. And they all knew about each other. So it's not like I was pulling some sketchy, awful shit. Like it was all out in the open, babe.
That is some fucking high level trash, and I respect it, buddy.
I'll tell you what, I didn't realize how white trash I was until we fucking started inviting Lucas, the camera guy, along with us. And he's just like, eating caviar from a truck stop and just telling us how he's never had Wendy's.
Guy had never had Wendy's, and I was like, "You've never had
Where
Wendy's?"
is he from?
Westchester.
He's from, but his family is incredibly, incredibly rich. And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm like, "You've never even had Wendy's?" He's like, "You don't understand. There's no fast food around where I am."
And I'm like, I
"Jesus
do
Christ."
understand.
There is.
I used to
And there
play.
is.
Yeah, it's like I used to play sports in Westchester. You don't live on fucking Little
Yeah.
St. James Island, Epstein
Yeah, and
family
I'm
member.
sure your uncle owns McDonald's, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, your uncle is the founder.
Lucas McDonald.
What? Don't give his full name.
So what's the question for her? Let's answer this. I mean, it's been weeks, I think. So she's probably either murdered
Yeah.
someone, or it's all figured itself out. So what's the question again? Is it okay to fuck your ex's friend?
I mean,
Best
you matched on Tinder, though. So obviously there's some treachery
yeah.
from both of you. You're both sacks of shit, but that actually cancels each other out. So I think you're fine.
I don't
That
think them
guy's
being
more of a
on
sack of
dating
shit.
apps makes them. Oh, because they had to both say yes. I get it. Yeah,
They both like swiped right in hopes that like the other person would swipe right, and no one would know if one of them either didn't come across the profile or swiped left or whatever. It just never would have matched, and then it would have been perfectly fine. But they're both sacks of shit.
Yeah, it is the perfect crime.
Yeah. Yeah, never tell. Just don't tell. Live
Yeah.
life with this fun secret.
Of course, don't tell. But yeah, it's
But
all
she
it's
said
fucked
that
up
they're
all
still.
around.
She said it turns out they were still friends. So maybe he told his friend, but then it's bad on him, not on her.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with
He
you,
slept.
sweetheart.
He slept with his best friend's ex.
Right. I gotta
Versus his
say,
ex's. She slept with her ex's best friend. Different
it's
story.
pretty shitty on her part too.
Yeah.
I'm not withdrawing the shittiness from me too. That was a shitty decision on my part to sleep with my ex-girlfriend's best friend as well. But so you can't absolve yourself because it's like some fun, like, oh, there's, gray area or whatever. You're a sack of shit, but own it.
Yeah, exactly. Own it. Be like, hey, we're just kids, whatever. Listen to
She's
fun
like, I'm
or whatever.
43. It was a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
All
you
I
did
got
the right
another one
thing.
on-
Just never tell.
No, you can't tell ever.
I got
People need to
another
be
one on
okay
here
with
as
that.
well.
I think you just got to live through life with secrets gnawing at your organs. You know?
100%. And if the guy finds out and he flips on you, you can't just be like, well, I didn't tell you, because that's also wrong. Like, it's still wrong, but you shouldn't tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just
like,
be
you shouldn't tell, but
you're out of my life.
if he
Like,
finds out, you go, you just have to go, all right, step back. Go right
weird.
into traffic.
You know what? I never prepared for this moment. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
really
Now, this is
you pulled the rug out from under me.
This is a very specific question here. It's very inside podcast baseball, so to speak. But
I love that though, right? Like I like the fact that people are taking shit from their personal lives and then also, inner comedy stuff, whatever. I like those would you rathers.
Yeah, me too.
What other podcast trio do you think you could dominate in a fight? The Skanks, Cumtown, and the Loud Boys all come to mind. Also, when do you? Oh, that was a different question. Second question.
We can fight all of them except for maybe Lewis.
Yeah, the fact that Lewis is a trained animal at this point, I don't want to be within the same house as him when he's throwing a punch. Like,
and I think Dave also has some pretty
he's fought a lot.
well-built resume of training too and fighting. Yeah, both having fought and also was a
a Feeney versus Dave fist fight would sound like a sword fight because they're both so sharp. It would be king.
Yeah,
you'd both be hitting each other's fists, copying the exact moves.
Yeah, sparks flying.
It would be the first ever fist fight fencing match.
I think it would be wrong of us to fight the Cumtown guys because you're not supposed to beat up autistic people. So
let's get it out there right now, though, that we would walk through the Cumtown guys, like march through them as if they weren't there. It wouldn't.
They'd be patting their black eyes with their money.
Just buying cold steaks to put on there and then throwing it to hungry dogs.
Nick is pretty. Nick's pretty ripped though.
I'll take Nick.
Nick's big.
I'll take Nick. I don't care.
Okay. I'll take Adam.
I'll bite his biceps off his body.
Stop. Just each throw a punch and then start heavily breathing.
Yeah, just two
sumo wrestle.
Two fucking water beds having it out.
Both of you just go. Take a second.
Yeah. I just take his fake tooth out.
The wild card would be Feeney snapping Adam over his thigh like it's Bo Jackson with a baseball bat after a strikeout. And then Feeney could come over and help me out with Nick if he likes. And Brendan and Stav could just lean against each other like Forrest and Bubba trying to avoid the mud.
Me and Stav are just eating Wendy's on the side watching.
You believe I know a guy who's never had this? You guys actually get closer during the fight?
Yeah. And as for the Loud Boys,
so many times with people. I don't know who the Loud Boys. I know the Proud Boys.
That's Dalton Pruitt, Robbie Goodwin, and some other Joe Schmo. But
some other Joe Schmo. I like all three of them. And again,
you like Joe Schmo?
Oh yeah, I love Joe Schmo. He's my favorite comic. I would march right through all three of them.
Yeah, I think all of these people what would have in common is they'd all underestimate how much we want to just lose our minds on a civilian.
Yeah, civilian on
Not
anybody,
civilian, but on anybody. Yeah.
No, on anybody. They'd be gearing up for like a fun. Let's see who would fight for the Patreon, and then it would be a full bloodbath. 300 Patreon members will fight the Loud Boys.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Are they a Loud Boy group? Are they a podcast where they just loudly talk about Proud Boys, or they're just
they're funny dudes. They're really
funny dudes that just have a podcast together.
I know Robbie.
Yeah. Robbie, it looks like you poured water on a robot. Dalton was just on Skanks. He was hilarious. I actually listened to the episode. He was really funny. And I've seen him roast and do comedy, and he's really funny.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the third dude is.
Yeah, me neither. But
probably have hung out with him countless times.
Yeah. I'm the third dude.
That's Brendan's second project.
Yeah. But let it be known we're ready to fight anybody. And the Cumtown guys, I think they have it. They're too relaxed now.
Yeah.
They got money. They got fans.
They're well fed.
They don't have any problems in their head besides Nick.
Yeah, are you kidding? The fucking Tim Burton landscape in Nick's head that he has to comb through cobwebs just to see the full moon.
Yeah, every time Nick wakes up, it's like when Jack Skellington first walks through Halloween Town. All right, what's another question?
I got a bunch of DMs actually. Are you fresh out, Feeney, or you got more?
Go for it.
All right, so I got these from Adrian, our boy Adrian. He decided to send the same question twice, worded semi differently. Pick one body part for the other two boys. Oh, so these are it's not quite the same question. Pick one body part to switch with one of the boys, and then pick one body part for the other two boys to switch.
Oh,
I would love to see Brendan with Feeney's hair.
That would be great. That would be great. I would love
Feeney's hair confidence on Sagalow as he just like whips it back in the wind.
He'd be insufferable.
Unstoppable. Yeah. I'd be unstoppable.
No, you mispronounced insufferable.
Whoever has that hair is insufferable. Yeah, I would love Feeney's hair. That would be great. I think
I'd like to see what Mike's beard, to have a full beard, is like. It's very thick.
Yeah, but you don't want to spit in the eye of God like that. You have a good jawline. It's pronounced. There's no reason for you to do it. Like even with a mustache, you can still see where your chin separates from your neck.
You forgot?
I forgot, dude. And then last night when I saw you at New York Comedy Club, I was like, oh yeah. I went, didn't he shave? No, I went in my head. It like really quickly went, didn't he shave that? Oh, he never shaved it. What was I thinking? And I was like,
sorry, I was just looking at fond memories of us.
Yeah, no, that was definitely Brendan on Sunday on mushrooms thinking about Feeney's facial hair for a solid 30 minutes.
Yeah.
While watching Dazed and Confused. While Lucas, our first time ever eating Wendy's friend, was taking a 4-hour shower that he claims was 8 minutes.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that on fucking
What did he
Irish
think
Goodbye.
of the Wendy's?
He loved it.
Yeah, changed his life.
Changed his life. Of course.
I hope he gets cancer just from that one Wendy's meal. Well, his body has been pure this whole time. He's never sucked down that pink gelatin. And now he finally does a hot rail of some of the slime, and now his fucking body is just growing bubbles. Yeah,
we just Osmosis Jones'd him. We're like the new villain guys in his body.
Oh, fun stuff.
What would we put on Mike, Brendan?
What would from me? Maybe my freckles.
No, or
nice. Cock, just for a laugh.
I have a nice cock. Okay.
What about Brendan's eyes on Mike?
Oh my God.
I don't like this question.
Do you have my?
I don't like this question.
Is there anything I have that you would enjoy? Please. I can't. This is why it's hard to start this podcast at 11 because now I have to go through all my Tuesdays hating my life. Every Tuesday, I have to just go, it's fine, dude. Just fucking go with the flow. I think my freckies, right?
I have freckles, though.
Okay.
Maybe not quite as much of the skin damage that you have, but
would you like my eczema?
Yeah. I'll try on your flakes. I'll get lightly dusted in a white coating like I'm a fucking...
Yeah.
What's the Tony the Tiger cereal? God damn it. I had it
Frosted
going.
Flakes. You've been saying flakes.
I know. And I lost it. I lost it in the fun.
Well, I guess I'm not taking Mike's brain.
Or his knees.
Please, Brendan's knees are way worse than mine simply but from carrying all of the saddlebags. He's like
Why
a fucking...
do you defend
Brendan,
your knees so much?
Because you're
It's crazy.
You're a 38-year-old donkey that's legs are wobbling with each step.
Dude. You gotta just laugh it off like we do with everything
else.
else.
Laugh it off, you flaky skinned fat fuck. Are you out of your mind. The amount of defensiveness that you give at every court. You just said, I'm going to walk through the day with a. Now you're dead serious. You're going to walk through the day so sad because we came after you about some things, and now you're coming after me about knees.
No, dude, that mushroom trip changed it all, man. That felt good. I want to do more mushrooms.
I do too. I'm definitely going to order those
fucking
again.
Go, dude. Yeah, my birthday is Friday.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm on that show.
Oh yeah, I told her to book both of you guys.
Oh, that sucks.
Feeney said no.
Feeney said no.
Wasn't offered. What show?
I'll hit up Lily. I'm doing my birthday at Peaches and Cream, that show at the deli in Brooklyn, but it's like a cool fucking venue. So it'll be fun. I'll text Lily, see if she can.
Comedy's back, baby. We're performing in aisle 6 of a deli in Brooklyn.
I'm spending my 30th at a deli.
No. You'll see what it is. But that's really funny.
I'm getting a chopped cheese as my cake.
Yeah, I can't wait to just drink some Celsius from the aisle.
Yeah, I'll be petting the bodega cat if anybody needs me.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Okay, so I have a couple more questions from Adrian.
Okay.
This one, I think we kind of have answered this, but I also don't. This might be interesting. If you could travel to any point in the future to witness an event, what would it be?
If I could, can you ask the
nuclear
question?
annihilation.
Yeah.
If
that's
I could
kind
be
of
like
it, right?
floating from like, the atmosphere of Earth and just kind of watch all of the, kind of like the end of Fight Club, but
I
from
was
more of a
just
macro
about
level.
to say that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be super fucking cool.
What is that called? Is that called Event Horizon? When like
Extinction
everything
level event.
Yeah, like when you see it, just the nuclear Holocaust thing just come fucking rushing after you.
Yeah. Or maybe like the sun exploding.
Oh, a nice solar flare that knocks out our entire grid, rendering us useless as Texas was from a half inch of snow.
Jesus. They said, it was something like if the sun like exploded, I think it like right now it would be something like 20 minutes it would take until like if the sun explodes, like we're out, like we're immediately all dead.
Oh yeah, I mean, what how long would it take? Like 30 minutes?
Well, we'd freeze. We'd freeze pretty quickly. Like our ozone doesn't hold in the sunlight all that much, so it would probably take pretty damn quick. But a solar flare, which is like an actual inevitability, and who knows when or when it's going to happen. But that shit could literally shut down our entire modern way of living. Oh, like every single thing, all of our infrastructure, all of our electricity, Wi-Fi, anything you name that you need on a day-to-day basis would be completely useless.
It's so funny because as few episodes as we've done, we've apparently already talked about this because this link is purple. And as we've already talked about, if the sun were to blow up, it would take 8 minutes and 20 seconds for light to travel from sun to earth. So we wouldn't know the sun exploded for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And then once that happened,
I could get one last fucking.
Yeah, very bad.
Or eight.
Yeah. Call your ex-girlfriend's friend.
Yeah, her parents still live down the street.
Wow. Fuck her parents.
I will.
I would like to see aliens, I think. I would like to see whatever that happens.
Oh, in 3 weeks?
Yeah, right. I mean, didn't the Pentagon just say that like a submarine got surrounded by UFOs or something?
Yeah,
like a boat, dude.
There's so much information that's coming out about aliens and nobody gives a fuck. Everybody is so just exhausted. Like,
I know.
Let me know when they, Weinstein somebody. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. They're like, Zork killed President Biden. Well, who cares?
The president of Mars was problematic when he jerked off into a ficus in front of our ambassador.
What about this submarine thing? I didn't hear about this.
It was like a boat or something got surrounded by UFOs like 2 weeks ago or last week.
I think Brendan just walked by the Inquirer in ShopRite and took that as gospel.
No, yeah. I walked by a homeless person who said it, and I went, "Oh wow, that's crazy."
Well, thank you. That might as well be how I found out weed is legal in New York.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's real. This is great.
Just walking by with a cop going, "Oh shit," and then going, "Oh shit."
That's right.
Wait, you don't care?
Yeah.
Why isn't your club out?
First of all, we never cared if you smoked.
Yeah. Do you remember that line that I tried to get working, Brendan, that just never did when I was talking about that? I kept
What?
saying that I, being a white guy, am like a colorblind test to a cop. Like the letter A, you just can't see it, like me. And I tried to make that reference work any different way that I shaped it. And everybody was like either sad or didn't understand what I was trying to do. And I was like, it's just bad communication.
Yeah. I thought something we thought of a couple weeks ago, I thought you would be doing in your act, where it was like we were talking about how we don't even know that weed's legal. Someone just said it to us and we're like, yep, gospel.
Well, that's
walking
cool
around.
that you listened to my act at all, because I did that joke twice in Rhode Island.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, sure did.
Oh, well,
Right in front of your face.
you never said that joke.
I did.
I could only watch your act. Do you think I had what was I going to go outside in the rain, start picking grapes?
Yeah, I think you were buying fake weed from the van.
All right, well, this is all inside stuff. Let's get to another question.
All right. Next question from Mr. Adrian. It's an alternate reality where y'all are recording in the same studio. By the way, potentially next week. Very
Nice.
exciting stuff. Yeah. I
All
mean,
we have
who
to
knows?
do is figure out when and where and
who's
how.
going to produce and whether or not. Yeah, whether or not
whether
anybody
or not we
will
like
let us
each
in.
other.
yeah, let us in.
We're recording in the same studio. One can dream. Power goes out. Zombie apocalypse begins. What's the first move?
This is a great idea for a movie. But every
Cloverfield.
time I watch a movie and the main character has a podcast or something, I go, ew, and I don't like the movie.
What
How
movie have
many
you
movies
watched?
have you seen
Yeah.
like that? Name 3.
Husk is like that, where Justin Long and what's the dude from Sixth Sense?
Haley Joel Osment?
Yeah, they have a podcast together in the movie.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. No, but there were others. There are others. What are
I
the other
hate
ones?
Husk, the Brendan story.
Yeah. I hate Husk, but I don't have the balls to call it out. No, there was another one that came out recently where the guy has a podcast, and I was like, well, doesn't matter.
Cool. That's good. That must be how people feel about us.
Hey, buddy, people aren't even thinking about us. Which is why we have a podcast. So
I
what's
mean,
the
well,
question?
if we're in the same studio, that means we're in the West Village, which means we are fucked.
Yeah.
We would try to get to the roof of the building, I suppose, and from there try to figure out a way out of the city. Like, what do we each try to individually try to find? Or we find a van to drive, or a car, or 3 motorcycles.
The longer
But the
we
car,
wait,
you got to get motorcycles because the cars are all going to be gridlocked unless we get Brendan's Revels.
Yeah, we're trying to download the Revel app as fast as possible.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
our
yeah.
credit card.
Yeah,
What's our
it's like,
Yeah.
what's the expiration? And yeah,
It doesn't
meanwhile-
go over a bridge though, so we'd have to get off.
and walk it over.
I get walk it
No
over.
shit. It's got like
Brendan,
a dog
Brendan's
invisible
now
leash.
going. Brendan's now buying a scooter, right? Because Alexis talked him into it.
If
Are
I could
you really?
afford, no, and if I could afford it, I would have, but I'm not going to. You see how?
Yeah, I think a
So,
1-bedroom
yes,
see how
apartment
is
quickly
probably-
news gets all fucked up, man.
Ew. So the answer
You're
is yes.
ew.
So you said you would
you're
buy it, and
ew.
you
I'm
will
ew.
buy it, and that it's
If I
just a
could.
matter of if you had money. Yeah. So you're like
If I could, I
yesterday. He
would.
was like, "Dude, you, me, Lexus, we could have like a little like moped gang." We'll be like, it was a
That's
it was
crazy
a sad,
that
that face
you took
is
me
exactly
being
what-
nice to Alexis as that. He was like,
No,
because
you
Alexis
were talking to me
said
about
the
it,
gang
going
thing.
like, "Dude, this is going to be like,
No.
this will be awesome." He's
No,
like,
dude.
"I want to
was
get one." He's talking me into
exhausted
it.
yesterday. I was going like, I was just saying, hey, he's talking me into it. I think I was just being nice to Alexis.
So this is what bothers me so much about Brendan, and I love you so much, Brendan. I really do. You know this.
yeah. I
But
don't know.
when Feeney says his thing, and you're saying no, you're wrong. How dare
but
you?
Years
and hang on,
have
hang on.
proven that Feeney
Hang on.
has lied.
Hang on.
That Feeney
Right.
is a liar.
I agree, which is why I don't trust him. And I'm on neither of your sides initially. However, once the fight develops and Feeney is quoting things you're saying, and then you're like, no, and then you're like, I was tired, and then regurgitate exactly the dialogue Feeney
But
just
the
said.
way
It's like,
Feeney
how
is
are you to
saying
be
it,
trusted?
I never
How?
said I didn't say that. I never said I didn't say that. I said the way it was said is completely thrown off, and it's
But,
changing
Brady,
the whole narrative of
I
the
gotta tell
complete
you,
story.
I must tell you that your exhaustion level, it does nothing for me.
Well,
it changes.
can I explain my narrative of the
You
story?
did.
So Feeney gets to say his stupid lie, and then
Right.
I can say the truth, which is I was being nice to Alexis because Alexis said the fucking we could
Being
have a little
nice to
gang
Alexis
thing.
is not the issue.
Hey, how about you let me finish?
Oh.
So Alexis said his
Kitten's got
I
claws.
won't. Yeah, no, I won't. Yeah. Yeah, why don't you bite your claws off like you do your
this
own
raccoon's
fingernails?
been outside too long.
I've been digging through the trash and I finally got a good meal. I'm energized, ready to go.
This episode should go up on YouTube as Raccoon versus Snake.
Title.
Raccoon versus Rattlesnake. Anyway, yeah, I was just being nice to Alexis because he was like, dude, we should all get fucking ones. He's like, Robbie's gonna get one, blah blah blah, and we'll have a little gang. And I went, oh yeah, we would have all a little gang. You know,
And I mean,
I went
casual.
He's convincing me. I was.
And I mean, your fingers were nowhere near your head. And how
Yes.
dare you act as though you placed them on like at the beginning of the Britney Spears "Oops, I Did It Again" music video, where she's in class with her little pencil back and forth. You were listening and talking, and then going to me. You're going, he's talking me into it. You did a thumb to him, nod, happy, smile.
One thing
maybe
that's kind
that's
of
true. Maybe
one
that's
thing that's
true.
kind of
Maybe
I
that's
was in a good mood.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of miraculous about Brendan is that after 30 years of life, he really believes that people can see and hear his thoughts. Like he really like
It's not
that's
even
how.
that.
Hang on,
It's not-
That's how people gain context to the words he's using because he uses words. We repeat those words, and he tells us no, that's not what he
The
meant.
only people
And
that
the
have a
only
fucking
way-
problem with it
the
are
only
YouTube
way-
mooks.
Yeah, because we're the only ones that listen to you. Everybody else just brushes
We
off your
can't.
thoughts like they come
Fucking
from the
true.
village.
Everyone
idiot.
else has a goddamn respect for me. The village idiot. You fucking assholes.
That's what this show is, baby. It's
Erica-
hypotheticals and infighting.
Erica wanted me to tell you that her and Jen and Kirk, they all thought you were very funny yesterday, Brendan.
Oh, thanks. Thank you very
Her in
much.
Dunkirk?
Yeah, I'm the Oscar nominated movie.
They have Brendan.
What was that?
Everybody's.
No one's on the same page.
Mike's like reading.
I just got a text from somebody that like bubbled hot lava from my toes almost out of my mouth.
Oh no! Did they ask you to perform in a deli again?
No, I accepted that graciously. But this was like the
not a
first.
deli.
I didn't even see what this is.
It's not a deli.
But
You said it was a deli. Don't say it's not
It's
a
in
deli.
the back of a bodega.
Dude.
Which is
In the
known
backyard.
as-
In the backyard. It's a venue. It's cool. It's cool. You should come by.
we'll see if I make the cut. Might be too many straight white
Dude,
guys on the lineup.
there are so many people from my town that are like hitting me up to send stuff to KFC from Barstool, and I'm like, what do you think this is, dude?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening right now? This is about Pat Tillman's fucking jersey, and he's like, yeah, there's a petition. Would you mind passing it on to KFC? I was like, I can't think of anything I would want to do less.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? What's happening right now?
Oh my God. That's
Yeah,
like
I
us.
have nothing better going on. Nothing fucking better than to get this stupid, like Pat Tillman, hero, all that shit, pots and pans, as we've said before. But it's like, I mean, come on.
Pots and pans is such
I'm
a good
never responding to
fucking-
this. I know this guy. I might block him for the rest of my life.
Do it.
Do it.
He just wrote, you don't have to if it's a hassle, but it's a great cause, and figured I'd try. And it's like, I won't, and I won't even acknowledge that this came through because I'm so angry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Next question.
Next
right.
question. Next question.
That was it. That was this is shaping up to be a real classic episode, and that it really hits all the tropes of like answer some questions from fans, devolve into like at least 15 minutes of infighting, a lot of
Brendan
he said,
lying.
she said. Yeah.
Me lying.
Me lying.
Me lying. Me lying.
You lying, me tiger. All right.
What's the next question?
Guys, now just imagine what this would be like in a studio. There'd be fists flying into other windows. It'd just be,
please.
God, wouldn't it be a great podcast?
You know what we're going to have to figure out? And the only way I've already thought of, the only way is to do
is how to hold a microphone with boxing gloves on.
We just go like no, it's because of the way the desk is set up. It's like one of us is always going to have to be in like the big chair, like the host chair. So I think
it needs to be Brendan.
Why?
I think because
I was going to say we rotate, but
I think it needs to be Brendan because Brendan feels the least empowered. So we have to seat him at the head of the table so he can feel a little,
What do you mean? I feel the least empowered. Why do you? What are you talking about?
Forget it, dude. Forget it. You can sit in the closet. Sit in the closet. You're actually not allowed in the studio. Feeney and I will do it from the same chair, the head of the chair, like it's
you guys
supposed
just
to be.
sit on the same chair fighting it.
Yeah, you can sit at home on your roommate's bed.
I wish.
You don't?
Wish what?
No, I wish I wish it all went differently.
I wish I hadn't killed that fish. All right, what's the
please? Let's ask
last question. Last question from Adrian, which again, guys, if you have questions, here's a scenario.com. Submit it through our DMs, through, whatever, social media, email. I mean, we are 35 minutes in. We've answered 3 questions. We've screamed at each other 48 times. This is the best goddamn show in podcasting.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we are ready to fight every trio in comedy.
That's right. Yeah, you name them, we'll do it. 300 patrons, 200 we're getting forever inked. Feeney's not, but me and Brendan have already agreed.
Feeney will do it.
We have to. We got to shout out the person that made that too. By the way,
yeah, it's incredible. It's really good art.
Which the problem is that, and this is coming from a person who has a coat of arms tattooed on them, is that the detail, the insane detail that's in that would have to be your entire back in order to get that done.
Well, that's what we're all doing. It's going to be Steve-O sized.
Yeah.
It's like the flag of our LARPing team tattooed on our back.
Yeah.
Dude, we should go LARPing for the Patreon.
That I would absolutely do.
That would be fun.
And I would smack a 10-year-old in the face with a pool noodle sword.
Yeah, I would grab whoever is dressed up as the unicorn and just snap his neck. They're like, these guys are taking this very seriously.
All right, last question from Adrian. You wake up and are missing a skill you've learned. What major skill would you hope you didn't lose? Reading, BMX riding, math, driving, or running, etc.
Losing a skill.
Driving would really hurt.
Driving would hurt. Math would hurt too because it would just fuck you up.
Yeah,
for
but at
every
least you have a calculator.
Yeah.
What do you mean? If you don't know how to do math, then you're like...
that just means you don't know math. You know what numbers are.
You can still copy it. Be like, 6, and then that plus sign, and then 9, versus like...
Oh, okay.
Driving's the most deadly if you don't know it.
Right.
Like if you lost the skill, that would be the most like... You get in the car and then you're like, oh no, you don't know what to do.
But driving is the most deadly, but you could get around it by ordering Ubers and taxis and things like that, taking the subway, things like that. In terms of like self-preservation, I mean, talking in public would be a tough one to lose, obviously, but it also might free us. It might be like the genie losing his bracelets at the end of Aladdin.
I would love to lose how to do stand-up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your Aladdin joke. My bad.
Am I lagging?
Wow.
Is that what's happening?
Growth.
No, I think I just
Steamrolled.
spit out.
Oh,
I
okay.
steamrolled a little bit. My bad.
I see.
Growth.
Growth. Running would be hard. I know that's like I rarely do it, but when you need it, that would be fucking. You want it when you need it.
I would love Brendan to turn to run and just be like, wait
a minute.
How do I do this?
Is it arms? I can't tell
I know
you.
how to walk, but how do I do walking faster?
How many nightmares I've had of someone chasing me and me looking down at my legs to run, but I'm just like doing high knees. Like my knees are going up, but I'm not traveling far distances.
My knees go by my ears. Like when I'm running in a dream, like they'll like come up almost like they're wheels. And I can't do
what
anything.
A nightmare!
What are you, a riverboat cruise?
Yeah, they're just not gripping the fucking road.
Jesus fucking Christ!
And punches where it's like, whoa, and it's nicking their nose or not even hitting them.
Do you guys have that dream where you're just yelling at someone at the top of your lungs, like someone close to you, and they're just not paying attention? Like they're just like laughing you off or something?
That's Kate Winslet's dream in Titanic. I keep feeling like I'm screaming in a crowded room and nobody can hear me.
Brendan, that just sounds like, I mean, you don't even have to go to a dream book to figure out what that means. That is
I've told Alan that, and he was like, yeah. I was like, so what does that mean? And he's like, you know what that means.
Yeah, that means more sessions.
Yeah.
That means big dollar signs in my eyes.
We're not, his pupils turn into...
That means our work is not yet done here.
Yeah. I'm gonna trick him tomorrow and go, I think I'm done, dude. I think I'm like cured, and see what he does. He goes, yeah, but your mom also, you know.
Yeah,
what?
What's next?
No.
I'm done with the questions. So Brendan, big book of if.
Big book of motherfucking if.
Again, if you like the content, guys, sign up for bonus content at patreon.com/scenariopod. We do a looser second episode of Here's a Scenario every single week. And then Fridays, we do a Blunts with the Boys where all three of us get a bit blunted and or high on some sort of medicated treat and, discuss existential things and whatever. It's super fun. And I didn't really sell that well at all. And then, we put bonus content. I got the stand-up vlogs and, getting Mike Takes Edibles, all that stuff. Feeney, I know, is about to launch a solo thing up on the Patreon. Sags is about to as well. And we're just pouring shit onto the Patreon. So patreon.com/scenario pod.
Okay. Question from the big book from the Biff is, if you had to name the most terrifying moment of your life so far, what would it be? If you had to name the most terrifying moment of your life so far, what would it be?
Sitting outside of the surgery room before Nicole got a C-section. Actually, you know what? Dude. Not even before. Before was very terrifying, and I actually intentionally took a picture of me in the gown just to see, like, hey, before I had a kid, and I know I thought I looked excited, and then I look at my face, I see the picture, and there is so much visceral terror in my face that I'm moved by it. I'm almost like, oh my God, this kid is fucking terrified. But then I retold the birthing story to Holly, who works at a New York Comedy Club last night. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't talked about it in a really long time. And I was reminded of Nicole's reaction to the anesthesia and how she was fucking like convulsing on the board while they were cutting her open, and like how blue she was. And I had to give like a confident, excited look in her face as she's like looking like her life is slipping away.
You're going, hi, my little blueberry. How you doing?
My little blueberry. But yeah, that's easily the most terrified I've ever been in my life.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I was also telling this story yesterday, and I feel like what might be one of the scariest moments was that time that I went surfing and got taken out by the riptide, and then was on the other side of the jetties in open ocean in the shark bite capital of the world beach alone by myself. Because that was, the more I was retelling that, I was like, oh yeah, I was like dog that needed to go out whimpering, being like, huh, like I was like, there's nothing more scary than when you're yelling, when you see help, but none of the help sees you, and you're like yelling, and because you're on, you're outside, it's just dissipating. You're just getting further. People are getting smaller and smaller, and you're like, I don't know what. And then when I got on the other side of the jetties, and it was just fucking open ocean, and there was no beach, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to survive.
Oh my
Dude, did you
God,
see that video of that guy that had a GoPro on him and he got swept out into the open ocean and he literally thought he was going to die and he's like calmly talking to the camera like, I think this is it for old Jeffy.
Yeah.
What? What's going on? And then it got dark and he's like, a fucking rescue plane. Holy shit. And he's like, all the life comes back to him, but he's like resigned himself to death.
Dude,
he's like,
I think that's what happens too, because I mean, there's probably a bunch of people that like hyperventilate. But I saw another video where this guy was snowboarding and he went into this like crevice. He like fell into this crevice like a la 127 hours, and he was like, oh God. He's like, oh man, I'm real lucky that I fell here and not there, because I would have went all the way down. And he's like, here I am. He's like, hopefully someone finds me or something. He was like, I was with somebody.
Things that they go under the tree. You ever see those where the people like the snow is built up so much and then they all of a sudden just hit like a sinkhole and they're fucking buried under a tree with like 8 feet of snow above them and can't climb out?
I'd rather be in open ocean than that, because at least you're on the surface versus like down below where it's like, how the fuck could they ever find you?
Oh, with that much pressure and cold.
And you can't like scream that much because you need to conserve your energy and shit. So you're like,
breath.
Help. You're just tapping. Help.
You're like Rose when she wakes up frozen after killing Jack.
Yeah. Oh, second Titanic reference?
I'll do it. Yeah, definitely not the last.
Yeah, there's going to be at least 2 more.
I hope you have a lovely time together.
Boom.
There's the third.
I had a moment that was like scary, but I don't know how terrifying this was, but like when I was dating Jess and she had that little red car. Do you remember that little red car? It was like a Volkswagen or something. And I was driving a Volkswagen. No, it was like I forgot what it was, but I was driving and I was sitting in the driver's seat. She was in the passenger seat, and we're just looking up food that we can get before we go back to Queens, because we're in Brooklyn for a show, and we're parked on the side of the fucking road. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. And as we're doing that, she's like a little drunk from the show. I think she drank something, and I'm just like looking up shit. A shirtless man, a very skinny shirtless man, very muscular, like drug addict, ran up to the driver's side, my side of the window, and ran up to the driver's side and started doing this in the window.
Like he's a raptor?
Like Ace Ventura?
Nuts. It was fucking
oh my God,
nuts.
Feeney, you look exactly like him when you did that. To train the dolphin, you must be the dolphin.
Whoa.
It's just like crazy.
That was
crazy. Watch on YouTube.
And he runs up. As he's running, I'm still a little calm, and I'm like, I turn to Jess and I'm like, do you see this guy? And she's like, doesn't see him at all.
This guy,
and
he's
he runs
breathing on the.
Dude, he grabs the door handle of the door and starts going, and I go, and I just start driving, dude. And I go through a red light. I didn't even look at the side of the fucking things. I just went through a red light, and then that was terrifying, because I was like, we could have just been fucking hit. And that guy was like, whatever. So I'm driving and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Holy shit, that guy was scary.
Back and he's holding onto the trunk of the car.
Yeah, he's on the bottom of it like Cape Fear. and I was so livid because I'm going, and I turned to Jess and I go, this was so crazy, wasn't it? That was nuts. And she's singing, she's going, what a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. She didn't even fucking notice what was happening. We just went through a fucking red light. This guy was grabbing on the fucking doorknob, and she's like, it's fine, we're out of it.
Singing
and
her favorite song about you, and you took offense.
I know, she does like that song. I know. No, actually, no. She was easily convincing that she was right. No, she wasn't wrong, but it was like it added to the fear and the
so
anxiety of it, where I was like, man, that was just an experience I had alone, apparently.
But your car was locked, right?
Yeah, it was fine. But this guy tried to fucking jump in the car.
That's awful.
Yeah, no, that happened to me on Nostrand Ave when a guy tried to open, I think it was either Crew or Nicole's door, and it took every bit of Nicole convincing me not to get out of the car and beat that guy to death in the middle of the road. Where I'm like, oh, this is unacceptable on every level. If you pull the car door of my car, you're going to get a torrential downpour of fists upon your face.
just a fire arrows of fists. Yeah, you look up at this guy. It's terrifying.
So thank you guys very much for the episode. Let's do one more question. But again, here's a scenario.com. Submit your questions to our DMs. Here's a scenario pod on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on everything. All of it is available. Here's a scenario.com. And again, our patreon.com/scenario pod. We have so much dynamic stuff up there. It's not just the pod. We're doing visual stuff. We're doing audio stuff. We're doing watch alongs with Kong versus Godzilla. We got a Mortal Kombat coming. We're doing our monthly get together with our highest paying tiers. I think in the next week, we both our Wood and Rosebud Baker Memorial Fund, RIP Rosebud, those tiers, they get to join a Zoom with us, and we play the Here's a Scenario game where we do a bunch of hypotheticals and we just hang out and shoot the shit, and you guys get to ask us as many questions as you want.
Hell yeah, dude. It's fun. We all get fucking high. It's great.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, final question. If you could have one street or square or park in any city or town renamed after you, which would you select and exactly what would the name be?
I'm going to get a little unoriginal here. I'm going to take Central Park, and it's just going to be Feeney Park. There it is, just to make everybody from across the world have to be like, oh, you go to Feeney Park? Oh, you got to check out Feeney Park.
Yeah, it's actually, it's
Everybody
a little
thinks you're saying
smug.
Fenway. Yeah, there's a lot of smog. There's a lot of smug. You mean smog? No, there's a lot of smug.
It's smug. It's judgment from the trees.
A lot of passive aggressive trees.
Yeah, all the rats thumb their nose at you as you walk by.
I'm gonna take. Damn, that's a good one, dude.
What's the question? We're just renaming a
Pick a
street.
park and name it something.
Well, not just the park.
Okay, just any type
park.
of
Any street, square, or park.
street, square, or park. Okay.
Yeah.
Columbus Circle could easily be Cannon Circle.
Cannon
Circle. Or maybe I'm more of a Washington Square Park guy Madison Square Park, which is kind of small. It's away. It's not one of the popular ones, but a lot of people do heroin there.
Nice. Yeah. I think I would take the Hollywood Stars Street and just have it say my name the entire time. Just completely loses value.
Just all the stars suddenly become circles because they're like, this doesn't align with our definition of star.
It becomes a little bit fatter circles, not stars. Like not very pointy. Just
see, I was making fun of your lack of fame, not your weight.
And I was making fun of my weight. So
well, that's why we work as a team.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, tell some friends.
Yeah, we love you.
Bye-bye. Here's the Scenario is Mike Feeney, Mike Cannon, and Brendan Sagalow. Executive producers Robert Kelly and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button Podcast. For more information about the show, visit here'sthescenario.com.